G'day punters, welcome to the Early Crows Captain's Run, which I've stuffed up the name of twice in a row, but we're going to keep on rolling. This week's edition is a little bit different. We put out to our audience for you guys to throw in a horse in a race, and I'll sell it to you why it's a great bet. And we had over 30 responses just today. We've ripped through them all already, and it's taken 20 plus minutes, 30 plus minutes maybe, I'm not sure, but it's been a long time. And that's all we've got for you for most of the races. What we're going to do now, because there's no footy, either code, the golf's a bit bally, and the NFL's a little bit too far away for us. So what we've got for you at the start of tonight's show, one deep preview for a race at Caulfield with a great bet at $4.80. And then a good look at the good race at Rosehill, and the bet we're going to suggest is a $20 plus horse. So we'll kick off at Caulfield with race number 2. It is the
Thoroughbred Cup of Australia Plate. It's a 3-year-old open for the fillies, mate, over 1,200. The top of the market, we've got number 1, Erno's Cube, 440. We've got number 3, Iron Velvet, 460. We've got number 4, Kuriyanagi, 480. We've got number 12, Keepsake for the King Kong at 550. We've got Silmarillion, number 2 for J-Mac and James Cummings at 650. Longer the rest, and these odds are correct on Thursday, the 10th of October at 8 p.m. Dicko, take it away.
Iron Velvet, Kuriyanagi, maybe Pariah, Engagement, and Kadeem, the speed. Semeliron gets a grouse run from 5. Savvy Rocker shows some intent from 8. Keepsake was positive enough in those jump outs. They're in the bush, so they're hard to read, but they're good jump outs. It's a nice horse. Zara Island's a big tick, isn't it? But barrier 10 is tricky for a horse on debut kicking off at Caulfield in a good race. Erno's Q will be positive, but I don't know how positive it can be from 9. Blackberry Bomb thereabouts. Symphony, Cullaby, Rails and Run. Mem's Choice is a horse I don't think can be super competitive here, although it will probably be a small bet for me just to be safe. It'll be a horse that'll get back. It'll be a horse you need to watch closely and you can probably follow moving forward. Chewing Gum back and wide and last. Chewing Gum's got ability. Semeliron finds a race that's a little bit tougher than what it's been facing. Iron Velvet's had 2 jump outs after beating Dom last start. Now, Dom shat the bed, I don't know, a month and a half ago at Moonee Valley, but it was beaten by Evaporate that day. Evaporate's gone on with it. So you can look at that 2 ways. You can sort of say, well, it beat Dom and Dom's no good. Or you can say it beat Dom and then Dom got beat by Evaporate who's gone on with it. So you do you. I'm sort of fence sitting with it. I think it's a big play here. I do think that we're pricing this horse positively because it's got a good barrier and it's shown good speed previously. Then you look at those 2 jump outs and it's ridden cold. Basically, it just starts growing me up. I don't want to know about it. Kadeem, I think, will be half negative from the inside draw. The horse that I adore here off the tick over and the grouse form and the very strong SPs and loves Caulfield, Kuriyanagi. Lovely tick over in between runs. Barrier 4, Blake Shin. Ticks every box that I have to tick. And I'm really, really keen to have a significant bet at Kuriyanagi in race 2 at Caulfield.
Love it,
Gamble
mate.
responsibly, 1-800-858-858, or visit the website. Caulfield, race 2, number 4, Kuriyanagi. Praddy.
Love it, mate. Love it. All right, Dicko, on to Rosehill, race 7, their main race for the day, the Group 2 Hill Stakes over 1,900. Royal Patronage, T. Clark on the quick backup for Gay and Adrian Bott at the top of the market, 360. Pericles, 420. Kovalika, 550 with Golden Path, and along with the rest. How are we seeing this one?
Interesting speed map. So they've got attrition going back from 10, the Victorian horse. It's coming off the 4-horse match race in the Fian Stakes at Moonee Valley, where it wasn't a huge price considering it was against Brightside and Pride of Jenny. But actually, a shadow of things going back. Him, Stockman, yeah. The map horse is Pericles. It draws super. They were in the Toorak in Melbourne they've scratched because they drew wide. They had J-Mac on, but they drew really wide and it was an awful map, so they made the right decision. They go to Sydney, draw 4. I see this race sort of two ways, and they're the two horses I've been talking about, the two horses I'm interested in. Pericles, Attrition. Completely concede that Royal Patronage, Golden Path, New Endeavour, Kovalika, great profiles to run really well here. But I think the Melbourne form's better. I think the weight for age form's better. And Pericles was $3.60 or $50, super brave, punching up on the speed, and stuck on like so strongly for the run it had versus Buckaroo in the Underwood at Caulfield. Now, Buckaroo coming out and, it would have traded $1.01, $1.10, $1.40 to beat Via Sistina last week in run in the Turnbull, which is a very good race, like a better race than this. Pericles is probably as good a run as Buckaroo to my eye, the way the race shape was there. Duke de Sessa had the similar run to Pericles and backed up and went well in that race too. So I love that form. I think it's proper. I think he's got the great map. I think the slightly better form is the Pride Jenny Brightside form. I think it's the grouse form at the moment. I think that run at Moonee Valley was like one of the great trials all time for a horse like Antino and a horse like Attrition. I'm back in Antino in the Toorak, and I'm back in Attrition here. I cannot believe the price they're giving you. It's ridiculous. Bo Mertens and Mitch Friedman are sharp operators. They got the tactics spot on with this horse to win a Toorak last year. This is a perfect race for them. I don't know if they'll be as cold as the map's sort of suggesting. I think they might be more positive, and I want to back both. I love Attrition and I love Pericles, the Melbourne form, to go up to Sydney and get the job done in the Hill Stakes.
Love it, mate.
Welcome to You Do You, a segment where I justify the bet that you're going to have. Caulfield Guineas Day is one of the greatest days possible in racing. Stallions are made and opportunities present themselves. It's excitement, it's opportunity. It's an arena where chance meets courage. Fortune favours the bold. It's not a battlefield, it's a racetrack. This is not just sport, it's a testament to instinct, calculation, the belief in the finest of creatures, the racehorse. Betting on horses is not mere folly, it's a dance with fate. It's where a man's instincts, sharpened by life's trials, meet the raw power of nature. The racetrack is a place where we put our faith not only in the horse, but in ourselves, in our judgment, and in our courage to risk something for the chance to win everything. You don't bet because it's easy. We bet because it calls to the very soul of a man, unafraid to test his limits. A bet is not just money, it's belief, it's hope, it's conviction. A wager is a declaration to the world that you see it as you see it, and you'll back it as you want to back it.
Rightio, we put the question out on Twitter. Dicko is going to answer and tell you why your horse can win. Don't you hate it when you go to a mate and say, hey, I actually really like this recommendation, and all they do is go, oh, well, it's going to be back in the field, it's got a negative jockey switch, and I don't think it can win. Well, go over somewhere else and go talk to someone else. This is why your horse can win. All right, Dicko, let's go to Caulfield. Slavo wants to start in race 2. He wants to hear about horse number 1, Erno's Cube, over the 1200. Why is it winning?
Tricky math. That's the only setback. Started $12 in the T race last start.
Hey. None of this tricky map stuff. Why is it winning, Dicko? Let's go. Big boy pants on.
$12 last start versus Autumn Glow. Very, very strong performance. Rails and Run was inferior that day, and it was good. Loses Dylan Gibbons, gets John Allen.
Same race, Dan Mantle asks. Number 3, I Am Velvet.
2 nice trials. They taught it to go back and settle and race a little bit kinder. The start prior was, its last start was Caulfield, then it hooned home. It was a Vobis race, yes, but it's got the grouse track figures and the profile to explode into the next preparation.
Love it, mate. Now we move on to race 3 over the 1200 as well. Cedar Barry wants to know about horse number 4, Gumdrops.
Gumdrops was good last start. It wasn't suited. It was buried worse in midfield defence. It won't be there this start. It'll be a lot closer to the speed. It'll make its own luck. Ben Mellon sticks.
Love it. And it's $19 currently. We've got onto horse number 9. Matt and Pappy Charles ask about one that we've backed before, Extra 2.
Shin off. That's normally a big setback, isn't it?
Yes.
Not when James McDonald gets back on. J-Mac on, not suited, back on wide last start, $6.50 versus Little Deep there. The right form lines, the right stable to keep a horse up and firing. J-Mac on, tick, tick, tick.
Love it, mate. Now we go to race 4. We've got Xavier and Brady are asking you about horse number 3, that is See You in Heaven.
I actually genuinely love this horse. Not suited at all last start. Wasn't snicked overly, but just had no speed and couldn't go with them. It was an on-pace dominated race. It started about half the price there of Grinzinger Bell, who went and failed at Moonee Valley. They're trying to tell us, hey, I think Grinzinger Bell's a better chance of winning this race than See You in Heaven. 480 versus 550. No, it's not. See You in Heaven goes Carter Willow, badly not suited last start, savaged the line, like meeting best closing sectionals. We pray to God that the greatest human in racing, Craig Williams, finds a way to not be dead last. It's going to need a tiny bit of luck, but at $5 plus, it's a great, great bet.
He also asks, and the odds have halved, why Matriarch Rose is 100 to 1. That is from Xavier.
Absolute Forgive last start, had atrial fibrillation or EIPH or one of those sort of setbacks that can stop a horse pretty quickly. There's also the victim of a really sickening race shape. So the jockey, no fault of his own or her own, was 3 back the fence, tried to be positive. Willow was on the leader that day. Can't remember what it was called, but he got crossed. All of a sudden, Matriarch Rose flushed out the back of the surf at Moonee Valley. Fast track, fast horses. No good to be going backwards when they're all making their runs. Absolute Forgive, will improve, can win.
Tom McKinnon stays in the same race, mate. Looks at horse number 6, Quick Star, Luke Nolan, PG Dart Moody. What's the go here?
Lane off, Nolan on. Not suited first up. Strong close. The map is the only chink to this horse, but it has genuine scope and upside in a race where some don't.
Now onto the favourite, mate. Currently, Lady Jones. This one's from Luke Ferrier and Wheels himself from Twitter, mate. Why can this win?
The Inferno is a horse that needs a lot of shit to happen for it to be competitive.
Is that negativity? Tempo. Positive. Come on, mate.
He's saying, how can it win?
All right, love it.
So I'm saying what we need tempo, but then we need a little anchor drop mid-race. We want them to slow down from the 800 to the 600 and let the Inferno build into the race. Lovely little tick over. Finished with Charmstone and Mar Harbour. They go around in race 3. Charmstone will be right in the market and can win. It wins. Well, our case strengthens there for the Inferno, who on his day is capable of winning a very good race.
On to the Group 1, mate, the Might and Power Stakes, race number 7. Harry King wants to know about Deny Knowledge.
Oh, everything went wrong for this horse last start, Harry. Half slow, no intent. They kicked off Jai. They put on Mark Zara. This thing leads on its ear from 6. It'll find the fence and control the race. Mark Zara, not known for his handlebars down sort of behaviour. He'll need it here. If he can get a soft lead early in the race but put the handlebar down from about the 900, this horse is capable of running huge numbers and winning races like this. Brightside's vulnerable up to 2,000 metres off that 600-metre fee and run. If Caulfield is up and in, which it can be, big play at the $9. And I think the $9 is probably as big a price as you'll see for the horse.
Number 7, Jenny Lala from Ethan, mate. Why can debate steer this one round for a W?
This is just, if you like the horse and the stable's telling it's going good, you don't need to worry about it because Mark Zara's going to set the tempo. Debates ain't going to have to think too much. He just has to hold on. He's going to sit on Mark Zara's hind, and if the horse is strong enough, the horse will be good enough. The shape of the race will suit Jenny Lala. This will be a race where one of the first 4 horses in run wins.
Love it. And then Wayne, our NFL 3 from 3 tipping guru on Twitter, wants to know, in the same race, Number 8, Bishin, Tony and Calvin McAvoy, Coco Sun, Barrier 2. What's going on here, Dicko?
This horse gets the absolute PR. It'll sit in the 1-1, I think. It'll have Brightside inside it. Car off, shin on. They backed this horse first up to beat Buckaroo in what looked like a bit of a aggressive placement. The market said, no, 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 no. It's not. This horse is balls deep in that sort of race. I thought it was really good versus it. That race went really, really hard. So to the eye, it looked like it sort of grinded to the line, but that was actually a really good performance first up. If it comes through that well, it's a huge player here, and I think the best value play in this race.
On to race 8, mate. One of the ripping races of the year, the Caulfield Guineas. Horse number 5. Joel wants to know why Shin can then steer this one around after he steered Coco Sun around Caulfield to a big W.
Well, everyone's going to knock you and say it started $26, $21 versus Broadsiding last start. But Broadsiding only just beat it, and Broadsiding had momentum down the outside. This horse was half held up as Stormboy rolled out. So if you're a big SP man, you're going to have a hard time falling into it. But if you just trust your gut and trust your eye, Mayfair's going to get OSL here, a much softer, simpler run than he copped last start, I think at Rosehill in the Golden Rose. Big player, can win, love the bet.
On to race 9, Schillachi Stakes. We've got Budgie Bros, Paddy and Mitch. Want to know why Shin can go 3 from 3 in their big boys at the back end of the car and steer recommendation first past the post.
I actually really love this bet. Settles in the 1-1, D off, Shin back on, back to Caulfield. Track and trip numbers outstanding, Caulfield numbers outstanding. Recommendation is a Caulfield horse, handles all sorts of going, drops back in grade, got SPs over Kalos and Mornington Glory. Perfect map, in form Blake Shin. I think it'll start favourite.
You just mentioned another one that Mitch would like to know about. Been a bit greedy, Mitch, the old 2-play. Kalos, mate, number 4. Why can that win?
Lovely little tick over. This horse, like as good as they get tick overs. So this horse is humming. It gets J-Mac back on. It was suited, but it was very good last start. Likes Caulfield. The inside draw suits J-Mac. You're going to need a little bit of luck, but he's the man to find it.
Mitch has also asked why not Mornington Glory, but mate, you've got to read the Twitter post. It's why can your horse win? We'll be bypassing that one. On to the lucky last Dicko, the big one, the Toorak handicap, and we've got a fucking few runners to get through here. Jacob starts with Desert Lightning, number 1.
Hey, look, everyone's going to tell Jacob this thing was completely fucking blessed in run last start, therefore we should be against it this start. Now, those people, I think they actually probably make a little bit of sense, but let's ignore that negativity because we need to be positive. That's the point of what we're doing here.
100%.
It blended into the race perfectly and pissed in. It was a very nice win. It beat Craig on its merits. Hard horse to profile. So the SP, not as relevant as normal. Goes barrier 1 to 11. That could be a setback, but look, also I think it's positive. They've got to put this horse into the race. They've got to roll forward. They've got to show their cards early. Craig's going to be out the back. Another Will's going to be buried the fence. We could be off and gone here.
On to horse number 3, Antino, and that one is from Jared.
Jared, love where you're at. I just love this bet. Blake Shin suits. Barrier's okay. This thing will be midfield. It just needs to jump. We pray to God. Zeus, Allah, Buddha, Bilbo Baggins, Mary Poppins, Ablett Senior and Junior, that this thing pings the lids. If it does, I think it wins. It's got the grouse form. So there's good form, there's okay form, and then there's the grouse wait for age form. That's the Pride of Jenny, the Mr. Brightside form. He's got it. He's flying. He loves Caulfield. He was very unlucky not to win this race last year. God bless him they didn't. If you remember that, Praddy, we're on attrition. But ticks a lot of boxes, Antino. If the fence is off, which they seem to love doing at the moment at Caulfield, they seem to get the hose out and forget to fucking turn it off on the inside, or they roll it and the roller doesn't get down to the fence and it becomes quicksand. That's a big advantage to Antino again. He's a box sticker.
Answered your own question, Jared. It is the grouse form. Zach and Muzz want to know why MD jumping on number 4, Another Will, gets the job done on Saturday.
Push button horse puts itself into the race. You're going to land in the coffin, worst case. And it's got enough tactical speed where some of these don't, that if the fence was off, he can get off it. Mick D's a big game player. You know, he turns up and he delivers big performances on the big stages. Don't worry about Mick D in a Group 1. Wednesday at Sandown, another question.
Positivity,
Group 1 at
Dicko, positivity.
Group 1 at Caulfield, love where Mick D's at. He's riding big races really well. And this is a great opportunity for Mick D to win another Group 1. This horse will start favourite and deserves to.
I'll put some filler in so you can pick your can up and have another sit, mate. We've got race 10, same race. We've got a D Stackhouse on a New Zealand runner. We've got Orchestral, Budgie Bros, and Maddie want to know White can win.
Well, big weight, just to kick off first up in NZ, and that sort of scared everyone off. It started $2 there in a decent enough race. We know how good this horse is. What this horse needs, though, is intent from the jockey to not be the last pair, the second last pair, and it needs to be a solidly run race. Proper horse, big time ability. We want to see a great parade, and we want to see tempo within the race.
And on to the Empire Rose, I believe, after that. On to horse number 7, Dicko.
Seriously, this
Alsafina, Moonee Valley, last race of the night, the other night, burst through the gap late. Why? Optimus Crime, you heard that correct. Optimus Crime from Twitter wants to know why Alsafina can win.
Winning form's good form. This thing was 3 wide, no cover, Flemington and enormous. Then went to Moonee Valley and was given a fucking each by Blake Finn. Going to be tougher here, but you're getting a better price. The horse is flying. First up run in Melbourne, Flemington was a big tick. Second up run at Moonee Valley, they can't be any better than it was. Profiling to go like that. If you want to be with it, you be with it. You do you.
The man who breaks people's legs for a living, Farjack, wants to know why Craig going on to Craig is a winning combination.
Curry to Willows, big tick. Not suited, no intent, buried back the fence last start and was very, very good. The stable, the wheels fell off them about 3 weeks ago. They were going no good. Last Saturday at Flemington, they had $150 winners. They had horses jumping out of the ground. Keeneland, Uncle Bryn. There's probably a couple of others. I can't remember. I think they won a cup, like a Muramasa or Sunsource or something, won a cup, and they might have won a race at Bendigo. They're completely back. Craig's the best horse they've got. He's been set for this race all along. Craig suits the horse. He'll probably tag the back of Antino. That's what I'd do. I think he's a massive, massive chance and a stupid, stupid price.
And then the last one from this race, mate. Jolie wants to know D-Lane, Seawaller, Barrier 3, number 12, Osipenko.
Oh, how can you... Very scary stuff to say this. These guys can't get the job done. Osipenko's an outstanding animal. A beautiful, beautiful horse. J-Mac off, D-Lane on, 53.5 kilos. This horse started $7.50 last year in Gold Trips Turnbull. That's proper form. This is not a proper race. That is proper form. This horse is very much good enough to win it. It's also third up Uncle Chris. That's scary, scary areas. We saw what happened last Saturday in the Turnbull. That's right. Via Sistina went shit out the week the start before, exploded, and was one of the most bravest performances I've ever seen in Flemington. Uncle Chris knows what he's doing. Third up's when he strikes. D-Lane suits. Inside draw. They can be closer than you think. Osipenko, huge chance to win the Toorak.
And then Terry is rounding us out. He's a bit of a sneaky one. Nah, he's the last one for Caulfield. Little Terry wants a sneaky all up, Dicko. Real quickly, we go backwards to race 7. We're going to the favourite. Number 1, Mr. Brightside. 10 words, why can it win?
He's a champion. An absolute champion. Champions win this race. Anamo's the greatest horse I've ever seen. He wins this race. I think, named after Might and Power. Might have been Mackay Diva. Winks might have won this race. Proper horses win this race. He's the only proper horse in this race.
So he's had that's the little first leg of the all-up multi. Then he's gone, let's just sneak on over to the Guineas and also take number 1, broadsiding. Why might this just absolutely piss in on the weekend?
Because It's 3 from 3 at the trip. It was $3 to 2.15 in the Golden Rose first up, so the market just said it's way better than the best 3 odds in the country. It handles all types of going, J-Max sticks, and it's got an SP edge on every horse in this race. The only setback is the map, but we've got J-Max.
And then, just if it wasn't enough having a little two-leg multi, you've already answered, but another will, mate. Why would this be just, if you're having this little three-leg all up, why are you putting the full stop with another will and it getting the chocolates?
It's going to land in the coffin. Basically, what he's going to be doing, this bloke, is he's going to be counting it and praying to God that Mickey D can ease out without losing too much momentum as they straighten up there at Caulfield. It's the map horse with Antino. It's the horse that's targeted the race from the biggest stable in Australia that's absolutely airborne. And they may well have one of the biggest Caulfield winning days of their stable's career. Kieran Maher might go off his head on Saturday and he'll finish it with a Group 1 Toorak.
Rightio, Dicko. Let's go to Rosehill now. We've got a couple of runners. The 2,000 metre race 3 Vale John Nicholson handicap. We're looking at horse number 6 for Alexander, Bear on the Loose.
Gain Adrian, Stayer, my racehorse Flying. They would have paid a shitload for this horse. It'd have stack of ability overseas. It keeps Nash. So Nash has said, this horse is going good. I feel something in this horse and I want to stick with it. Great sign. Great map. It's gaze. You know it's going to go. Right stage of prep to be very, very hard to beat.
Then we slide over, mate, to race 6, the 1,400 metre listed Tap Craig. We've got horse number 2, a Node for T. Clark.
You just forgive last start, don't you? You have to. It'll go from barrier 9 last start to 7 here. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. It could end up being barrier 6 or 5. Perfect barrier. Gets a softer run. It'll won't have to work as hard to get to the front. It'll have more petrol in the tank when the whips start cracking. This horse will bounce back. It's a 3-year-old colt by him, Invincible, trained by Gain Adrian, ridden by Timmy Clark.
Love it, mate. And then on to race number 9, the Navision 1,200 metre contest. We're looking for LR Tatum Bakes, horse number 10, Kyle Wilson Taylor, Peace Treaty, Barrier 1.
This isn't one of Paps's bowler accounts, is it? From Bali, because I tried telling him to back this horse last start and he didn't listen and it pissed in. And it's a winner. This horse has got unlimited ability. It's got proper upside. It's flying. Now, setback, it loses shin, but you get a better price. This horse is proper good, genuine upside, in the perfect camp to keep on improving. Drawn 1, going to get a soft suck run, hard to beat.
Love it, mate. Finlay's asked a question about what variables you use when doing your form. We will save that one for Monday's episode. That'll be episode 54, if I'm not mistaken. And Xavier, the cheeky little bastard, wanted to leave you with a comment, Dicko. Xavier said he will walk to Caulfield, which where he lives, nobody's got any fucking idea, so context, Xav, would be much appreciated next time. If Duke DeSessa wins the Caulfield Cup, he's going to walk to Caulfield. What are your thoughts there? You've tipped something at $51 and you're getting a little bit of hate. What are your thoughts there?
I hope he doesn't back out. I hope that he's not on. Well, when we say $51, we're very, very clear in take the $2.90 into the 51. So we're on at the hundreds. And we'll organise for you to walk to Caulfield a day that we're going. And you can walk around and give us a hand all day long, I reckon.
Love that, mate. Love that. I reckon that wraps us for episode 12 of the Captain's Run, mate. Enormous from you. How do we sign off?
That's been the Captain's Run episode, what'd you say? I reckon
12.
You said 12. Hope you enjoyed the show. Gamble responsibly. 1-800-858-858 or visit the website. I hope the weekend's really good to you. Have a great one and bye for now.